Hello everyone. Today is your class number 29. Class number 29 for EMFT. Okay. Class number 29 for EMFT. So last day I have started this topic, that is, this is your drawing. Suppose this is a conductor carrying a current I, and due to this current carrying there will be a magnetic field arises across this conductor. Okay, so we have to calculate the magnetic field intensity at a point P, which is a distance r from that conductor, and we are taking initially that the dl is the smallest element of the conductor, due to which the magnetic field which is produced at that point P will be equals to, the last day I have discussed up to this much, right? So dH equals to IR dz by 4 pi, that will be r square plus z square to the power 3 by 2, right? This is your dH. Okay, so now you have to integrate it. So by taking, so how you integrate, because we are taking a finite length of wire first, we have to taking from A to B. Okay, so this H should be calculated by integrating the dH. Okay, so from A to B. So now you require to find, so actually this is your theta, right? This is your angle theta. So I have to join this A to point P, and that's simultaneously B to the point P. Okay, so first join A to P and then B to P. Okay, so after by joining we have two angles. This is your alpha 1 and this is your alpha 2, right? Okay, so from alpha 1 and alpha 2 we have to integrate, but the differential element is dz, so we have to convert this dz is nothing but the length of this one. Okay, so that this length we have to convert into the angle. Okay, so how would you convert it? So before putting the integral part over here, so write let z equals to r cot theta. Okay, so what is dz? Minus r cosec square theta d theta. Okay, so by this way you can easily change this z to the angle dz to d theta. Okay, so I r square with a negative sign called cosec square theta d theta divided by 4 pi root over of r square plus r square cot square theta. Okay, so taking I as a common outside, so r square over coming to, okay, it will be 3 by 2, right? It will be 3 by 2. So r square, if we take the outside, then it will become r cube. So above in numerator part there will be an r square. So ultimately you have I cosec square theta d theta divided by your r will be here. Okay, I will taking outside and 4 pi will also taking outside. So r will be there, and 1 plus cot square theta will be cosec square theta, but this to the power 3 by 2 will come, so that means cosec cube theta. Okay, so minus I by 4 pi, your integration alpha 1 to alpha 2, it will be just cancel out themselves. You have, okay, r will be coming outside also, and 1 by cosec theta will remain. So 1 by cosec theta will have, okay, so one negative sign over there, yes. So 1 by cosec theta means sin theta d theta, sin theta d theta. Okay, so your integration will look like now your h equals to minus I by 4 pi r integration from alpha 1 to alpha 2, from alpha 1 to alpha 2, 1 by cosec theta d theta. 1 by cosec theta will be 3 by 2, right? 3 by 2 into alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into alpha 2 plus alpha 1 plus alpha 2 into integration sin theta. So after integrating, sin theta will become cos theta, having alpha 1 to alpha 2. So minus I by 4 pi r, upper limit minus lower limit, so cos alpha 2 minus cos alpha 1. Okay, okay, so actually by integration of sin theta it will become minus cos theta, right? So it will be minus, it will be plus. So now after taking this minus sign inside, so it will become I by 4 pi r cos alpha 1 minus cos alpha 2 minus cos alpha 1, right? So negative sign will rotate inside. Okay, so now if we consider the direction, then your direction will look like a phi cap. Okay, so this is your ultimate formula for this type of application, for this application. So topic number 2 is completed. Now I will move to the topic number 3. Third topic, magnetic field due to the current in a finite length of or finite radius of finite radius circular loop of wire. Okay, finite radius circular loop of wire. So let us write first something, right? We consider a differential length on the wire. We consider a differential length on the wire with the position vector dl vector equals to r d phi a phi cap. Okay, so that means we have to take a we take a close contour over this in this xy plane. Okay, and due to this the field point, right? So you are taking a length dl over here, or you are taking a length, suppose here dl. Okay, right? So the field point P is on the axis of the loop at the distance. The field point or the observing point or testing point is on the axis of the loop at a distance z from the center. So the distance in between here to here, it will be z. Okay, from the center. The position vector is given by, so what is the position vector here? Z is z cap, because this coordinate has coordinate 0, 0, z, as it is lies on the z axis. Okay, z is z cap. So then if we join Now if we join this from DL to this part and here, so this is Z vector, this is your R vector, and it is your capital R. Okay, so therefore R AR cap plus capital R vector equals to Z AZ cap, right? Because this one added with this one will be resulting this one. So R vector equals to Z AZ cap minus R AR cap. So modulus of R equals to root over of Z square plus minus of R square. Okay. So now what is the DH? By applying the Weissenberg law here, so DH equals to what? We know DH equals to I dl cross R vector divided by 4 pi R cube. Okay. So now you have to cross product dl cross R now. Okay. So this is your dl, this is your R vector. So now please perform this cross product first. Your cross product will be dl cross R. We are separately doing. I am separately doing. So R d phi a phi cap cross with Z AZ cap minus R AR cap. Okay. So it will be RZ d phi. So a phi cap cross with AZ cap. So a phi cross with AZ cap, it will result a phi cap. Sorry, a R cap. AR cap. Okay, minus. So R into R, that will be R square. Your d phi. And a phi cap cross with AR cap, it will produce minus a Z cap. So it becomes plus a Z cap. Okay. So now I am writing over here. But actually you have to first, before writing, you have to first understand what is the direction. Okay. What is the direction of them? See, if we consider this AR cap, what is the AR cap? This is your AR cap. AR cap direction, this direction, because of this direction is AR cap. So simultaneously this direction also be AR cap. Okay. And what is AZ cap? This is your AZ cap. This direction is nothing but your AZ cap. Okay. So but for this part, okay, if we consider another DL over here, so exactly the opposite AR cap, in my negative of AR cap will be there. So this AR cap component will be 0 over here. So AR cap component will cancel out themselves. By if we consider over here DL over here, and if we consider DL another of DL over here, then they are cancel out themselves. So actually write something over here. By symmetry, the contribution among the AR vector, the contribution among the along the AR vector adds up to 0 because the radial components produced by pairs of current element 180 degree apart cancel each other. Okay. So again I repeat, by symmetry the contribution along the AR vector adds up to 0 because the radial components produced by pairs of current element 180 degree apart cancel each other. Okay, so what will be your current ultimately result? So I dl cross R, it will become 0. So only remaining left I R square d phi AZ cap divided by 4 pi. Your R means what? R means this one, that means Z square plus minus of R square, or only R square. You can write R square to the power 3 by 2, right? This is your DH. Okay. Okay, so now you have to integrate it. we have to integrate it. So now if we consider integrating, so d phi, so what is the phi? Phi is azimuthal angle, that is the range of pi becomes 0 to 2 pi, right? The range of this azimuthal angle becomes 0 to 2 pi. So after integrating, what will be the result? So by integrating you have h vector, okay? You have h vector. So angle 0 to 2 pi over here. So I r square. So after integrating this d phi, it will become, okay, 4 pi by z square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. All are the constants over here. So only thing left, that is if d phi is z cap, it will be equals to I r square by 4 pi z square plus r square to the power 3 by 2 into 2 pi. So after calculating, it will become I r square by 2 z square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. So your ultimate z h equals to this one, okay? So it will be h vector and direction will be a z cap. So this is your ultimate az vector, okay? So I r square az cap divided by 2 bracket z square plus r square to the power 3 by 2, okay? It will be your intensity, magnetic field intensity, okay? So here the h we have already discussed, but yet not I have discussed, or I have given you the exact definition of intensity, okay? So write the exact definition of intensity first. So magnetic, next topic, topic number 4, magnetic field intensity, and then magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux and magnetic flux density. These three topics we have to first understand. So intensity means what? The magnetic field intensity h vector. So it is denoted by h vector, okay? It is denoted by h vector. At any point is defined as the force. At any point is defined as the force experienced. Defined as the force experienced by a north pole of 1 Weber placed at that point. That is the intensity, in electrical intensity, it was 1 unit positive charge, okay? 1 unit positive charge. Here h, to determine this h, you have to put 1 Weber north pole. 1 Weber north pole to a particular point where is to be measured, where the intensity is to be measured, okay? Within the field, okay? So magnetic flux is what? Magnetic flux is, it is defined as the group of magnetic field lines, emitted outward from the north pole of a magnet. So emitted outward from a north pole, or from the north pole of a magnet, and its unit is Weber. So actually the flux phi, the unit, the denotation of the flux is taken as phi, and the denotation of intensity taken as h, and the denotation of magnetic flux density will be taken as b. So magnetic flux density is nothing but the flux per unit area. The flux per unit area, unit will be Weber per meter square or Tesla, okay? Weber per meter square or Tesla. Flux density having the unit Tesla, and magnetic flux having a unit Weber, and magnetic field intensity having a unit Weber. It will be your joule. Unit will be joule, okay? So this unit is very much important for your short question or MCQ purpose, okay? So next day I will continue from this magnetic field density. So actually magnetic field density has some little bit theory, so please wait for next day. I will discuss the magnetic field intensity in next day. So today's class up to this much, okay? Thank you.